It's kind of a ritual opening for virtually every meeting that folks that do this work from the School Reform Initiative and the National School Reform faculty open virtually every meeting with, except for the first meeting of the new group. So it's called Connections. I believe it comes from the Quaker tradition of a clearing. And the idea is that we're all coming into this room with different things in our mind, maybe thinking already about the weekend, or assignments due, or worried about what's coming next on November 12th, joyful about seeing the very first snow or dreading it. But it's an opportunity to quiet that inner noise, to slow your mind down so that we can prepare ourselves to focus on the important work we're going to be doing today. It's called Connections, but it's a very odd name, because in Connections, anyone who has something they'd like to share with the group, whenever the spirit moves you, you just share what's on your mind. It could be something about your personal life, it could be something about this work, it could be something just funny that you want to share. But really the only rule is that no one can respond to you. It's not a dialogue, it's just a chance to put out there whatever you want to put out there. It could be about yesterday's work. Anything that's on your mind. We'll keep it open for about 10 minutes. I'll let you know when there's a couple of minutes left, so if you haven't spoken, you'll know there's only a couple of minutes. And then if anyone wants to speak again at the end, there's an opportunity to speak a second time. Now, we will hold a few minutes. We'll hold the space after Connections is closed. If anyone does want to respond to anything you have heard, that's the time for the response, not during the time that Connections is open.
Are you just supposed to say one thing and then you're done?
Yeah, we only speak once, thanks for asking me, until everyone else that wants to speak has had a turn. If there's expect some silence and quiet your mind in that silence. But if you'll have an opportunity to speak again, if you like it. What other questions do you have? Anything. Knowing that you're not going to have to defend it. Good to go? Connections is now open.
So back to make a comment about Connections, I was thinking as facilitators, I think Daniel will tell you also, Connections is sometimes easy for groups and sometimes very difficult for groups. And the issue of, sort of being silent if there's nothing to say. So when you try it could go either way. I would just say persist. So it's a case of it's something different people have to get used to, and maybe your group will be right there and people will speak, or maybe there'll be long silences and people will be a bit uncomfortable. But if you do it a couple times, they get the hang of it. Would you say that?
Oh, definitely. And I would prepare people for silence. And schools tend to be noisy places, so ask them to try to appreciate the surroundings.